What's going on, CEOs? Welcome back to the channel. Great video for you today because honestly, if you don't understand this, you do not understand business, my friend. So I want to set you free. You always hear me say it. A CEO only does three things. They manage people, they manage culture, and they manage numbers. And people are happy with the people. They're happy with the culture part. But when we start talking about numbers, people just don't know their numbers. But it's vitally important. Just think about it. If you ever watched Shark Tank, every single episode since the beginning of Shark Tank, what do they ask? They ask about the numbers. How much does it cost to acquire a customer? You get all these numbers questions, and guess what? The entrepreneurs who don't know their numbers, they don't get the deals. So my friends, if you've ever found yourself struggling to know your numbers, don't know what your numbers should be, or you're just having a hard time scaling your business, well then today's video is for you. So grab a pen, grab a paper, and let's dive in. We're talking all about managing profit, more specifically profit margins. Like, ask yourself, have you ever wanted to have a profitable business? If you have a business, most likely the answer is yes. Here's the thing, my friends. If you're following me, chances are you're in the coaching, consulting, or agency space. You're probably an online B2B service provider. I am about to show you the profit margins that you can follow to be able to scale infinitely. And we're going to do it by doing what we call, and I learned this from my buddy Connor, the 10-20-20-50 rule. This is the 10-20-20-50 rule. If you will just learn this rule and stick to it, my friends, you'll have a very profitable business. The 10-20-20-50 rule is how you structure your business, your profit margins, to make sure that you can have infinite scale. You will never have any restrictions on scaling your business. And you just have to make sure you follow the formula. So 10% of your offer, whatever your offer is, however much your offer is, you should only spend 10% of that on your acquisition to acquire a customer. 20% of that goes to sales, 20% of that will go to fulfillment, and then that leaves you a 50% profit margin, which is very healthy. If you ever watch Shark Tank and you listen to their profit margins, I'm just like, how are you happy with this? Like, honestly, people who have $1 million business, you're like, all right, well, how much money did you make on that? They're like, $30,000. What? Who would want to do that? You follow this equation? You have $1 million business? At minimum, you're gonna make $500,000 off of that. That's the power of this equation, my friend. We're gonna talk about this 10% right here. Your cost to acquire a customer. And this is before you pay a sales team. To make sure we manage this, we have the rule of 2 and the rule of 10. We see the rule of 10, that's our acquisition. So yeah, 2% and 10%. This is our rule of 2 and our rule of 10. Now, the rule of 2 says we're going to spend no more than 2% of our offer to actually book an appointment. 2% per appointment. Then 10% is going to be per client, our acquisition cost. Our cost to acquire a client will always be 10% of what our offer is. So let's break this down in specifics. Let's say you have a $5,000 offer. If we're doing the rule of 2 and the rule of 10, that means, and the reason we do this is because typically in this space, if you're decent, you probably have a 20% close rate, which means out of every 5 appointments you book, 1 of them will buy. So if I know I have to get 5 appointments to get 1 client, then that means I can spend 2% on an appointment. 5 of those appointments will be 10%. And that's going to equal that 1 client. I hope you guys are still tracking. And don't let the math scare you guys. This is actually very simple. 10% of 5,000 is 500. So 2% is 100. That means we can spend up to $100 to book an appointment. We book 5 appointments, that's gonna cost $500. Out of those 5 appointments, 1 of them should buy it if you have a 20% close rate, which means your cost to acquire a customer is only $500. Now, if you keep these margins and you spend no more than $500 to acquire a customer, then off this $5,000 offer, you can scale infinitely. You'll keep a healthy 50% profit margin. Sales team's paid, your fulfillment's paid, you're handling these roles, you're paying yourself within here. But this allows you to keep a healthy margin to always be able to push money back into the business and constantly acquire customers profitably at will. Now here's the issue. If this isn't at $500 for the $5,000 offer, then you either have to figure out how to lower your numbers to get it down to $500, or you need to increase the price of your offer. And that can be the same thing with sales and fulfillment. Sales, you're in control of that. You know how to pay your sales team. If your fulfillment cost is too high, you need to either figure out how to get your fulfillment costs lower, or you need to increase the price of your offer. to make sure these numbers fit. But my friends, if you follow this, you'll be able to scale infinitely and you'll be able to have a profitable business. But you don't understand your business if you don't understand profit margins. If you need help with it, drop a comment. I'll be more than happy to break this down for your offer. But my friends, I hope you found value. If you did, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more insights on how you can scale your business. Catch you in the next video.